Hey Capricorn, I'm Empress Rose, and we're going to do this week's reading. So just so you know, these are very general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And also I want to let you know that I've very thoroughly pre-shuffled these. I'm a little superstitious about it, so I definitely pre-shuffled and prayed over and prepared the cards for your reading. So we're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments, and that'll give us an overview of where we're going. So, new message for Capricorn. What's a message for Capricorn? Give us a message for Capricorn. What's a message for Capricorn? Okay. What's a message for Capricorn? Okay. So we have two cards here. We have Liberty and Morning Dew Girl. Well, Liberty is one of my favorite cards. There is this bird in a cage, and this bird can leave whenever it wants. The cage is open. It's an idea that you have, that you've been holding on to, and it is on the verge of being able to leave. It's right on that threshold. You are letting something go. You're almost enticing it to go. You want it to go. You want this dove to be released into the world. You're dreaming of it. And the dove isn't quite ready to go, but it is on the threshold, and it's paying very close attention. It's looking at, you're trying to give it this flower, and it's being very enticed outside of its cage. So you're dreaming of freedom and this idea of being free and letting something go. You're really thinking about it. It's very much on your mind. It's giving you a lot of hope. But it's not quite there. The moon is not full. The moon is a crescent, but we're so close. We're so close. And then Morning Dew Girl. This is about healing from deep wounds. This is these tears that the earth sheds in the form of dew. The dew comes all of its own. It's just suddenly there. The earth just itself seems to be weeping. And she's collecting these tears and healing the situation. She's not talking about it. It's a very private thing. She's holding it close to her, but she's collecting these tears. And see this flower. She's collected the dew from half of this flower, and the other half she is currently in the process of collecting. So you're in a healing process. You're in a process of leaving some pain behind. But you're in the mid process, and I just can't help but notice that this bird is halfway out of this cage, and she's halfway done with collecting the dew from this flower. So you're halfway through whatever liberating healing process you need to get through. So but in both of these cards, we can see the completion from where we're at. So a lot of times through our difficult journeys, the more difficult parts of our lives, we can't see the end from where we're standing at certain points. But here, both of this bird and this Morning Dew Girl can see the end of the labor, the end of the cage. Both of those are within sight, almost within reach. So whatever difficulty you're going through, you're starting to see the end. The end is in sight now. And so much of that process, we just have to have faith that the end is going to happen. You know, the storm blows itself out eventually, but at some point for much of that, we can't see the end, and it feels like it's going to go on forever. So here you're starting to see the end. You're starting to, I want to say, smell the end. You can almost taste it. You're there. You're so close. You're so close. So we'll go into the body of the reading with the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. And these, again, have been very thoroughly pre-shuffled. I'm just doing a little bit right now to feel prepared. Capricorn, this is your past. Oh my gosh. I have somehow flipped this deck. Page of Pentacles. This is your present. Wheel of Fortune. This is your internal landscape, 8 of Cups. This is what blocks you, 7 of Pentacles. This is your external landscape, the Hermit. This is your to-do list, the 4 of Wands. And your possible outcome is the 6 of Swords. So I don't see anything here that's contradicting these first 2 cards, but it'll just go more in depth here. So in the recent past, you have the Page of Pentacles. You started to harvest something. You started you started your work of harvesting. We have this morning dew girl hard at work. She's, and look, they both have their bags. They're collecting they're collecting themselves. They're collecting their accomplishments. They're collecting the situation. And she's just starting here. This is her mind. She's starting to put the things away. She's starting to harvest everything she's grown here and collect it she's collecting herself, collecting her mind, collecting, it is the harvest time. It is the garden has produced what it's going to produce, and she's beginning to sort of collect herself and collect. I see this real like collecting herself, pulling it together, bringing the separate ideas in, and collecting herself. So in your current situation, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is the turning of the tides, it's the natural way of life. This is the turning of good luck to bad. It's just the time, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. So if you've been the windshield, prepare to be the bug. If you've been the bug, prepare to be the windshield. So there's just a transformation going on for you right now, a major transformation. This is a major arcana. This isn't like you're redoing your floors or you're remodeling. This is like a major a big event is happening here. And there's a lot of it that's out of your control. So we don't get the Wheel of Fortune is. We're not spinning it. It spins all by itself. It's its own thing, and we're kind of on it. And the Wheel of Fortune and the turning reminds me of a merry-go-round where the ponies go up and down, and it's kind of doing its own thing. And you pick your pony, and your pony's going to be up sometimes, and your pony's going to be down sometimes. So you're in the middle of like a rotation, and your pony's going up, and your pony's going down. So this is just speaking to that, like you're on the merry-go-round of life, and things are changing, things are moving. You don't necessarily get full control over it. So your internal landscape is really reminding me of this morning dew girl. Look, these emotions are weighing so heavily on your mind. It's these cups are full, they're overflowing, they're weeping for you. So I feel like there's just this grief process. There's so many tears here and so much on your mind. I mean, this 8 of Cups almost combines this Liberty card and this Morning Dew card, right? Like these tears and this heaviness on your mind, like that's a lot on her mind. I don't know if you've ever had long hair, but that's heavy. That's some heavy stuff on her mind. So this is internally, you are really dealing with some very heavy emotions. They're pulling on you, they're weighing you down, they're weighing your mind down. Morning Dew Girl is here to tell you are halfway through this process. So this isn't going to last forever, but this is where you're at. You're at sort of the nadir of your emotional happiness. This is the halfway point. This is the heart. This is yeah, you're halfway done, but halfway on a wave is the trough. It's the bottom. So this is talking about your internal situation is very heavy, very emotional. It's weighing on your mind quite a bit. You're thinking very deeply about your situation. What's blocking you is this Seven of Pentacles. So there's a lot of bean counting going on here, a lot of calculations. Maybe you're weighing these tears. There's a lot of calculating going on, and that is not helping your process of moving forward. That's something that's overthinking it, really overanalyzing, counting things. Yeah, I just see bean counting of like, you know, I did 5 minutes of this, so now you need to do 5 minutes of that, you know, instead of, you know, we were both bringing our gifts and what we have to bring to the situation. There's a lot of like calculating and weighing, and I think that that's really important so much, but this is in your blocking form. So it could be that this calculating is too much. You're over calculating, you're over bean counting, and it's preventing this process from moving forward. It's preventing the healing and the freedom that you crave. It may seem like it's helping it. You want to dot your I's and cross your T's, but this is too much I dotting and too much T crossing, which to me is very scary to like give that up. But there might need to be a little more surrender, because this card, the Wheel of Fortune card, is a card of surrender, surrendering to this greater process that we're part of, that we don't get control of. You know, there's like a sense of humility that needs to happen, where we understand that how much we're not in control of. And this card is telling you, like, there are parts of this that you don't get to control. So this bean counting isn't going to help, because it's just, you know, having the humility to understand that we don't get to control everything in our environment and everyone. And we want to, you know, plan for the eventualities and for if this happens in this, if this happens in that. We want to plan for that, but there's just so much in life that we can't plan. And that's where humility comes in, is like acknowledging that and accepting that, and just digging into doing our best and following our intuition, with the understanding that nobody gets full control. So yeah, a controlling energy. That's what I'm seeing with the Seven of Pentacles. A controlling, and it might not be you. It might be somebody else in the situation that's having a controlling energy that's blocking the full fruition of where you're going. And then in your environment, this is the Hermit card. So a lot of isolation, a lot of people isolating, dealing with their internal demons. Like, what's interesting is that this is in your environment. So but it's an internal card. Like, this is looking within, trusting your own intuition. So a lot of that needs to be happening. A lot of trusting your own intuition. A lot of, and that somehow this is in your environment. So maybe that makes more sense to you. But everybody is sort of self-isolating. Everybody is sort of dealing with their own demons. So maybe this is someone else in your environment that's dealing with their own demons and needs some time to sort themselves and to get in touch with their intuition and to isolate. So maybe there's someone that you'd like to be working with that is sort of self-isolating, that is maintaining themselves in this cage, but it's for a reason. It's because they need to transform, and they need to look within, and they need to do their own thing. So it might be that there's someone you're dealing with. This might not be you, because we already dealt with your internal situation here. This could be someone that needs more time alone and needs to wrestle with their own inner demons and needs to do that in privacy. This is sort of the cocooning card too. The I am the butterfly. I am the caterpillar. So in order for the caterpillar to transform into the butterfly, it's got to have this time in this coffin, this rebirth, this time to really redo the whole internal landscape. So this could be someone around you. If it's not, it is you, you're doing this. but it could be also someone around you needs to have some time to sort themselves out before this process can be completed. And then in your to-do list, we have this Four of Wands. We have this harvesting energy, this celebratory energy, this bartender energy of like, hey, our flowers, we're here to celebrate. We're bringing our wares to the world. So there's some sort of public celebration going on here that you need to do. There needs to be some sort of harvesting. I mean, here you're harvesting your tears. There needs to be some sort of, your to-do list is to celebrate, I feel like. Celebrate where you are. Maybe celebrate the halfway point. Maybe celebrate seeing that this is going to be over. Just finding that happiness in yourself, making the decision to be happy and finding it within. So that's what I'm seeing here is your to-do list is to celebrate life, to enjoy life, to celebrate where you are today, which is kind of a halfway point I'm seeing. So celebrate how far you've come. That's what this is saying. Your to-do list is to celebrate how far you've come in this whatever situation you're in here. And then in your future, this is very good. This is one of my favorite cards. This is the Six of Swords. It's possibly my only favorite sword card. But this is moving away from the battlelands. So you have your wounded. The journey is going to be pole by pole, very slow going. But you're crossing a body of water. You're crossing this very emotional situation. And you're moving forward to this new place with lots of light, this new land with lots of light. You are wounded. You have these wounds with you. You're going to be caring for this wounded, but you are moving. You are setting out. I mean, we're still on this journey here. So you've collected your wounded. You've got them in the boat. You've got everything. You got the boat. You got everything you need, and now you're ready to move forward row by row. So it is going to be a long journey, but there is another shore that you're going to. There's another place, and it's sunnier there. So this is the unsettled energy of launching off into finishing, I believe, this emotional journey and going to safer harbors, leaving a very, very deeply painful state, a deeply painful land where you've been, and you're moving forward. And look at this wizened old man with his long beard. He knows what to do. He knows the path. He knows the journey. He knows how to move forward. And he's protecting his wounded here. So there's a protector energy here, and that might be you who's helping other people through this process and helping others move forward. So I really like that we see this at the end here. It's just having this whole vibe of you are on your way. You're halfway there. Celebrate how far you've come. This is a heavy, deeply emotional. I mean, I don't usually literally see tears here, but we've got two literal tears cards here going on. So this is saying you are on your way. This sunshine up here is a promise. So even though things are unsettled and you're leaving the shore and you're on this journey, you're going to get there. So I hope you can find ways where you can choose happiness in these days and celebrate how far you've come, and understand that you are moving to a better place with clearer skies. And there is a healing process that is happening here. So, all right, Capricorn, I hope that reading was helpful for you. As you know, I'd like you to comment or subscribe and like. It just helps my baby channel grow a little bit and help other people find these messages that I hope are useful for them. So thanks for watching. See you next week.